You're staring at a bail bond slip that says $50,000, and you've got $430 in your checking account. 23 hours ago, you were free. Now a judge has decided what your freedom is worth, and you don't have it. The cell is 8 by 10. Concrete walls, steel toilet, a bunk you share with a guy named Marcus who hasn't stopped talking since lights out. Level 1, the first timer. He's not complaining. He's teaching. Who to avoid. Who runs what. Which guards cut corners. Which ones have been here so long they've stopped seeing the people in the cells and just see numbers. Marcus has been inside 3 times. He knows how this place breathes, how it moves, how it convinces you that its rhythms are the only rhythms that exist. He tells you the guards aren't your enemy. Routine is your enemy. Routine makes you slow. Routine makes you stop noticing things. Routine is what gets people buried here, not for years, but for decades. One identical day stacked on top of another, until you can't remember what it felt like to make a decision that actually mattered. You ask him why he's telling you all this. He shrugs. Says you've got the look of someone who's already calculating the distance to the door. The bail hearing goes badly. The judge sets your bond at $50,000. You don't have $500. Your public defender has 14 other cases and speaks to you in the hallway for 4 minutes. He says 18 months minimum on a plea. 3 years if you go to trial and lose. You're 24 years old. You've never been arrested before. The walls start feeling closer. That night you can't sleep. You're thinking about the door, the guards, the cameras, the fence you glimpsed through the transport van window. You start counting locked doors. 7. 7 locked doors between you and the street. The math seems impossible, but your mind won't stop running the numbers. Marcus notices. He doesn't say anything at first. He lets you sit with it. Then one night, lights out, he says it quietly. Medical transport, every Thursday. County hospital, specialist appointments. He pauses. Then, the hospital has a fire alarm system. Old building. Goes off all the time. Maintenance carts on the 3rd floor, always stocked, always unattended during shift changes. He says nothing else. You lie there staring at the ceiling and you understand exactly what he just gave you. Level 2. The plan. 3 weeks in, you stop thinking about bail. You start thinking about exits. The jail runs on routine. Meals at the same time. Showers on schedule. Med calls twice daily. Recreation in the yard for 1 hour if the weather cooperates. Every routine is a pattern. Every pattern has a seam. You watch the guards like a second job. Deputy Martinez works mornings. Thorough, consistent, not someone you want complications with. Deputy Chen works nights. He's been doing this for 11 years, and somewhere along the way, he stopped caring about the details. He scrolls his phone during bed checks, flashlight barely sweeping the cells. He doesn't count bodies, he counts bunks. There's a difference, and it matters. You tell the nurse your back is killing you. Chronic pain since a car accident 2 years ago. You need imaging. She's skeptical. You're persistent. You describe the pain carefully, specifically. In medical language, you looked up in a magazine in the common room. 2 weeks later, you're on the transport list. Marcus coaches you on what to look for. He's been on medical transport twice, and he remembers everything. The route. The hospital layout. He tells you about the maintenance carts on the 3rd floor, loaded with tools for the aging infrastructure. He tells you bolt cutters are standard because the service panels are all locked with chains. He tells you the east side parking structure exit has a camera with a dead angle, a blind spot that's been there for 3 years, because the facilities department keeps deferring the repair budget. He tells you the city bus stop is 50 yards north of the main entrance, and the 34 line runs every 12 minutes during afternoon hours. He tells you all of this like he's describing the weather. Calm, specific, unremarkable. You ask him why he never ran himself. He's quiet for a long time, long enough that you think he's not going to answer. Then he says he's got a daughter, 8 years old, likes horses, laughs at everything, even things that aren't funny. This big open laugh that sounds like it costs her nothing. He says if he runs, he never sees her again. If he does his time clean, he's out in 14 months. He's doing the math a different way than you. He says there's no right answer. There's just the answer that lets you sleep. You understand. You also understand that his math doesn't work for you. 18 months in this place will cost you things you won't get back. You've already started to feel it. The way days blur together. The way you stop having opinions about things. The way the walls start to feel less like walls and more like the natural shape of the world. The night before the transport, Marcus lies on his bunk for a long time without speaking. You think he's asleep? Then he reaches under his mattress and pulls out a folded piece of paper, a hand-drawn map. The 3rd floor, radiology, the stairwell exits, the cart locations, the dead angle on the east camera. He drew it from memory, in pencil, in the dark. He pushes it across the gap between the bunks without looking at you. You take it. You study it. You memorize it and then tear it into small pieces and flush it down the steel toilet. You're welcome, he says to the ceiling. You don't say anything. There's nothing to say that would be worth saying. Level 3, the escape. The transport happens on a Tuesday instead of Thursday because of a scheduling conflict. You're handcuffed and shackled, loaded into a van with 3 other inmates, 2 guards up front. Deputy Chen is one of them. That's lucky. The other is Deputy Rodriguez. You don't know him well. He carries himself like someone who takes the job seriously. That's less lucky. The hospital is 20 minutes away. You memorize the route, landmarks, gas station on the left, elementary school with a yellow crossing sign, strip mall with a nail salon and a check cashing place. The things you'll need if you're navigating on foot in an unfamiliar part of the city with every cop in the county looking for you. Inside, they take you to radiology. Handcuffs off for the MRI. Shackles stay on. Deputy Rodriguez stands outside the room. The tech is a woman in her 50s who doesn't make eye contact. She's done this before. She wants this over with. The MRI takes 40 minutes. You spend all of it thinking. After the scan, they put you in a consultation room to wait for results. Rodriguez sits outside the door, visible through the window. He's on his phone, but his posture is alert. You can tell he's the kind of guard who multitasks without losing track. The hallway traffic is steady. Nurses, patients in gowns, visitors carrying flowers and foil balloons. All those people, all that noise, all that possibility. The opportunity arrives at 2:47 p.m. The fire alarm goes off. Deafening, the way only institutional alarms are, designed to reach every corner of a building this size. Rodriguez stands immediately, scanning both directions down the hallway. His training's taking over. Hospital staff are already moving patients. Wheelchairs heading for stairwells. Nurses guiding people who can walk. The intercom crackles with instructions that can't compete with the alarm. Rodriguez opens your door, one hand on his radio trying to reach Chen in the parking lot. The radio traffic is chaos, multiple voices, competing information. He grabs your arm and moves you into the hallway. You shuffle in the shackles as fast as the chains allow. The maintenance cart is exactly where Marcus said it would be, near the elevator bank, unattended. Rodriguez is half turned away, still working the radio. You stumble deliberately, going down on one knee. He stops, turns back, hand on your shoulder helping you up. That's when you swing. Shackled hands together, all your weight behind it. The chain catches him across the jaw. He goes down hard, shoulder first into the tile. Someone screams. You're already at the cart. You dump the toolbox. Screwdrivers and wrenches scatter. There, bolt cutters. You brace the shackled chain against the floor and squeeze. First cut takes 3 tries. Your hands are shaking from adrenaline and something that isn't quite fear but lives in the same neighborhood. Second cut is faster. The shackles fall away from your ankles. You're running. Stairwell door, down, always down. Ground floor means exits. You can hear boots on the stairs above you. Security responding, moving fast. You keep going. 2 flights. 1. The alarm is still screaming through the building. Ground floor lobby, packed with evacuated patients and staff. You slow to a fast walk. Running draws attention. You're just another person moving through a chaotic building. Main entrance. Automatic doors open. Outside. The sunlight hits you like something you forgot existed. You've been under fluorescent lights for 14 months. Real light feels different. Warmer. Less controlled. You cross the parking lot at an angle. Bus stop 50 yards north. The 34 line is pulling up. You run for it. Get on, move to the back, sit down. The bus pulls away. Through the window, you watch police cars arriving at the hospital. Lights but no sirens, keeping it contained. The bus turns at the next intersection, and the hospital disappears behind a row of commercial buildings. Nobody on this bus is looking at you. Not yet. You ride to the industrial district. Get off. Start walking. Behind a plumbing supply company, you find work clothes drying on a chain link fence, shirt and jeans close to your size. You change and keep moving. It's not stealing if you trade. Changed. Moving. The plan you spent weeks building is already obsolete. This happened faster than expected, messier than expected. Rodriguez saw your face. There are witnesses. But you're out. The walls are gone. The routine is gone. That's what matters right now. Level 4. The wait. The first 2 weeks you sleep in a drainage channel under a highway overpass 8 miles from the hospital. You've got $30 from a wallet that fell out of the clothes you took. You eat once a day, convenience store food paid for in exact change so nobody remembers you. You stay off main roads. You watch your face on a phone you found on a park bench, 6% battery, enough to confirm what you already knew. Escaped inmate. Assault on a corrections officer. They've added charges you didn't commit because that's how this works when you embarrass them. You find work at a cash-only truck stop diner 40 miles outside the city. The owner is 62, runs the place with his wife, and has been hiring people who need to disappear since before you were born. He doesn't ask for IED. He doesn't ask your name. You tell him James. He says, fine. You wash dishes, mop floors, take out the garbage at 2 in the morning when the last truckers have cleared out. You sleep in a storage room behind the kitchen on a cot that smells like industrial cleaner. You work 7 days a week. You don't talk to anyone more than necessary. You don't make friends. Making friends means telling stories, and all your stories lead somewhere you can't go. The months pass. 1, 3, 5, 7. Somewhere around month 4, you stop flinching every time a car slows down near you. Somewhere around month 6, you stop checking the news. You build something that almost feels like a life, not a real one, a life-shaped thing made of routine and silence and the daily practice of not existing too loudly. You're good at it, better than you expected to be. You think about Marcus sometimes, more than sometimes. You think about his daughter, the one who laughs at everything. You think about the map he drew in the dark from memory. You think about the way he said you're welcome without looking at you, like he'd already made peace with whatever came next and didn't need you to acknowledge it. 7.5 months after the escape, you're mopping the diner floor at closing time when the owner comes in from the back office with a look on his face you haven't seen before. He sets a folded newspaper on the counter without saying anything. Local section. Small story. 3 paragraphs. Escaped inmate's former cellmate arrested during a routine traffic stop. Outstanding warrants discovered during the check. Sentenced to an additional 32 months. Consecutive. A broken tail light. You read it twice. You read it a third time to make sure you haven't misread it. You fold the newspaper carefully and put it in the trash under the counter where the owner can't see you doing it. Then you pick up the mop and you keep going because there's nothing else to do. The diner closes at 10. You lock up. You walk back to the storage room. You sit on the cot in the dark and you think about the math Marcus was doing. 14 months clean, 7 more to go, out by spring. His daughter would be 9 now. Maybe she'd have started riding horses by now. Maybe she still laughs at everything. 32 months. Because of a taillight. Because of a map drawn from memory, pushed across a bunk without eye contact, without ceremony, without any expectation of being thanked or remembered or repaid. You lie back and stare at the ceiling. The highway outside hums with trucks moving through the night, drivers who get to go home when their shift ends, who have names that are actually their names, who can look at their reflection in a truck stop bathroom mirror without doing a quick calculation of who might recognize them. You're free. You have work. You're invisible. You're also the reason a man who was 7 months from seeing his daughter is now looking at almost 3 more years. He knew that was possible. He made the map anyway. That's the part that won't leave you. Not the escape, not the running. Not the careful architecture of the life you've built in the gap between who you were and who you'll never be allowed to be again. Marcus knew exactly what he was handing you when he pushed that paper across the bunk. And he handed it anyway. The highway keeps going. You close your eyes. You don't sleep for a long time.